It was a hot afternoon on a quiet street. The sound of loud bike engines filled the air as a group of bikers stood near their motorcycles. They were laughing, talking, and getting ready to leave. Everything felt normal, calm, peaceful. Then suddenly, a small black boy came running toward them. He was breathing hard. His face was full of fear. His eyes were wide, like he had seen something terrible. His clothes were dirty, and his shoes were torn. He looked no older than 10 years old. The boy stopped right in front of the bikers. "Please, please help me," he said in a shaking voice. The bikers went silent. One of them stepped forward. He was tall and strong, with a deep voice. "Hey kid," he said calmly. "What's wrong?" The boy grabbed his arm tightly. "Please hide me," the boy begged. "Please, she can't find me." The bikers looked at each other. They were confused. "Who can't find you?" another biker asked. The boy swallowed hard. His hand was shaking badly. He pulled a small, old backpack closer to his chest. "My mother," he whispered. That word made the bikers pause. A mother? The boy looked over his shoulder again and again, like someone was chasing him. His whole body was tense. He looked ready to run at any second. One biker knelt down to his level. "Why are you running from your mom?" he asked gently. The boy did not answer right away. Instead, he hugged the bag tighter. One biker noticed something strange. There were dark stains on the bottom of the bag. Blood. The biker's face changed. Before he could say anything, a loud, angry voice echoed from far away. "Marcus!" The boy froze. His eyes filled with tears. "That's her," he whispered. "She's close." The bikers all turned their heads toward the sound. They saw a woman walking fast down the street. Her face was angry. Her eyes were wild. She was looking around like she was hunting for something. The boy dropped to his knees. "Please," he cried softly. "If she sees me, if she sees this bag, I'm dead." Those words shocked the bikers. Dead? A biker quickly stood in front of the boy, blocking him from view. Another biker moved the bikes closer together, creating a small space behind them. "Get behind the bikes," one of them said quietly. The boy crawled behind the motorcycles, holding his bag like it was his only shield. The woman came closer. She stopped right in front of the bikers. Her chest was rising fast as she breathed. Her hands were tight fists. "Have you seen my son?" she asked sharply. The bikers stayed calm. "No," one of them replied. "We haven't." The woman stared at them. Her eyes moved from face to face. Then her eyes dropped toward the ground, toward the bag. The boy held his breath. The woman stepped closer. The bikers felt something was very wrong. Suddenly, a soft sound came from inside the bag. A small noise, like something moving. The biker closest to the bag heard it. His heart started to race. What was inside that bag? The woman heard it too. Her face changed instantly. She lunged forward. "Give me that bag," she shouted. The bikers reacted fast. One of them stepped between her and the bag. "Lady," he said firmly, "you need to calm down." The boy began to cry, silently behind the bikes. Tears rolled down his face. "Please," he whispered again, "don't let her open it." The bikers exchanged worried looks. Whatever was inside that bag, it was not normal, and it was about to change everything. The boy stayed hidden behind the motorcycles. His small body was shaking. His hands were tight around the bag straps. He did not cry loudly. He cried in silence, like he was used to being scared. The bikers stood in front of him, forming a wall. The woman stared at them with angry eyes. "That bag belongs to my son," she said sharply. "Move." One biker crossed his arms. "Ma'am," he said calmly. The kid looked scared. "We just want to understand what's going on." The woman clenched her jaw. "He's a liar," she snapped. "He stole from me and ran away." Behind the bikes, the boy shook his head fast. "That's not true," he whispered. "Please don't believe her." The bikers could hear his voice. It was weak, broken. One biker slowly turned his head and spoke softly. "Kid, what's your name?" The boy hesitated. Then he whispered, "Marcus." "How old are you, Marcus?" the biker asked. 10, he replied. The bikers exchanged looks. 10 years old. Too young to carry fear like this. The woman stepped forward again. "He's sick in the head," she said, "always making stories." Marcus flinched when she spoke. One biker noticed that. He noticed how Marcus's shoulders lifted every time she raised her voice. That was not normal. "Marcus, The biker said gently, "Why did you run away?" Marcus swallowed hard. His throat felt dry. "She was screaming again," he said quietly. "She said I messed everything up." The bikers listened closely. "She threw things," Marcus continued. "She told me to carry the bag and not ask questions." The woman laughed suddenly. "See? He's dramatic." But her laugh sounded fake. Cold. Marcus shook his head again. "She told me if anyone sees inside the bag, she would hurt me." That made the bikers tense. One biker stepped closer to Marcus. "Did she hurt you before?" Marcus did not answer right away. Slowly, he lifted his sleeve. There were dark bruises on his arm. Fresh ones. The bikers felt anger rise in their chests. The woman noticed the change in their faces. "That boy falls all the time," she said fast. "He's clumsy." Marcus lowered his arm and looked at the ground. "She said I must run," he whispered. "She said bikers won't ask questions." That sentence hit hard. She planned this. A biker crouched down slightly so Marcus could see his face. "You're safe right now," he said. "No one is hurting you here." Marcus's eyes filled with tears again. "I didn't want to take the bag," Marcus said. "But she forced me. She said I owe her." "Or what?" a biker asked. Marcus looked confused. "I don't know," he said. "She just says I ruined her life." The woman suddenly snapped. "Enough," she shouted. "Give me my son right now." She reached forward. The bikers moved fast, blocking her again. "Back up," one biker warned. Marcus pressed himself deeper between the bikes. "I heard something inside the bag," Marcus said quickly. "It moved." The bikers froze. "Moved?" Marcus nodded slowly. "I was scared. I thought it was nothing, but then it made noise again." The woman's face turned pale for half a second. Just 1 second. But the bikers saw it. "Marcus," a biker said carefully, "what else is in the bag?" Marcus shook his head. "I don't know," he said honestly. "She told me never to look." The woman's voice became desperate now. "You don't understand," she said. "That bag is private." The bikers did understand one thing. A scared child, bruises, a bag that moved, and a mother who was losing control. This was not just a family problem. This was something darker, and the truth was getting closer. The street felt smaller now. The air was heavy, like something bad was about to happen. The bikers stood in a tight line, their engines silent. Marcus stayed hidden behind the bikes, holding the bag so close that his arms hurt. The woman did not leave. She stood there, breathing hard, staring at the bikers like they were the enemy. "I know he's here," she said slowly. "I can feel it." Marcus closed his eyes. His heart was beating so loud he thought everyone could hear it. One biker stepped forward. His voice was calm but firm. "Ma'am, you need to step back." The woman's eyes twitched. "You don't tell me what to do," she snapped. "That is my son." She took another step closer. The bikers did not move. Behind the bikes, Marcus shook his head. "She's lying," he whispered. "She's not worried about me." The biker nearest to him glanced back. "What do you mean?" he asked quietly. "She only wants the bag," Marcus said. "Not me." That sentence made the biker's stomach twist. The woman suddenly started walking around the bikes. "Try to look behind them." "Move these things," she demanded. "I just want my child." Marcus pressed himself flat against the ground. A biker blocked her path. "You're not going back there," he said. The woman laughed again, but this time her voice cracked. "You think you're heroes?" she said. "You don't know what you're protecting." Marcus began to cry softly. "I heard her on the phone," he whispered. "She said everything would be over tonight." The biker's eyes widened. "Over how?" he asked. Marcus shook his head. "I don't know. She just said the bag must be gone." Suddenly, a car turned onto the street. The sound made everyone freeze. The woman looked around fast, nervous now. Marcus felt the bag shake again. Not hard, just a small movement. "But enough." He gasped. One biker heard it. "What was that?" he asked. Marcus looked terrified. "It did that before," he whispered. "It's alive, or something inside is." The woman screamed. "Stop talking." She rushed forward. Two bikers grabbed her arms and held her back. "Let me go," she yelled. "You're ruining everything." Her words did not sound like a mother's words. They sounded like someone losing control. A biker pulled out his phone. "I'm calling the police," he said. The woman froze. "No," she said quickly. "There's no need for that." Her voice changed. Too fast. Marcus saw it. She's scared now, he whispered. That's good. The biker nodded slightly. Police. That word felt like hope. The woman tried to calm herself. Listen, she said. I've had a bad day. I overreacted. She smiled, but her eyes were empty. I just need the bag, she said softly. Then I'll leave. The bikers looked at each other. That confirmed everything. She did not care about Marcus. Only the bag. The police sirens were still far away. The woman realized she had little time. She suddenly dropped to her knees. I'm begging you, she said. Please. Marcus stared at her. He had never seen her beg before. She never says sorry, he whispered. Never. The bag moved again. This time, stronger. Everyone saw it. The woman screamed. Don't open it, she shouted. You don't understand. The bikers backed away slightly. Fear spread through them. What could make a grown woman this scared? Marcus's voice broke. I just wanted to be safe, he said. That's all. The sirens were closer now. The woman covered her face with her hands. It's too late, she whispered. The bikers knew one thing for sure. Whatever was inside that bag, it was about to be revealed, and nothing would be the same after that. The sirens were louder now. Red and blue lights flashed at the end of the street, still far but getting closer. The woman dropped to the ground, her hands shaking. Marcus stayed frozen behind the bikes, his eyes locked on the bag. The bag moved again. Not a little this time. It shifted hard like something inside was trying to get out. One biker stepped back. That's it, he said. I'm opening it. No, the woman screamed. You can't. She tried to crawl forward, but two bikers held her back. Marcus squeezed his eyes shut. I'm sorry, he whispered. I didn't know. The biker slowly reached for the zipper. The sound of it opening felt loud in the silence. Zip. Everyone held their breath. Inside the bag was not what they expected. There was no weapon, no money, no drugs. Instead, there were medical papers folded and worn. Small pill bottles rolled to the side. A photo slipped out and landed on the ground. The biker picked it up. It was a picture of Marcus. His face was bruised. His lip was swollen. His eyes looked empty. The bikers felt anger rush through them. This was taken recently, one biker said. Marcus looked at the photo and turned his face away. She said it was for the doctor, he whispered. Another biker opened the papers. Hospital reports, doctor notes, dates, words like injury, repeat visits, suspected abuse. The woman screamed again. Those are lies, she shouted. They're trying to take my son. But her voice sounded weak now. The truth was spilling out. One biker opened a pill bottle. Inside were strong pills. Not for a child. Why would a kid need this? He asked. The woman stayed silent. Then the bag moved again. Everyone froze. Wait, a biker said slowly. There's more. He reached deeper into the bag. Marcus started shaking. I didn't look, he cried. I swear I didn't look. The biker's hand touched something warm. Alive. Slowly, he pulled it out. A small puppy. The puppy whimpered softly. Marcus gasped. They made me hide him, Marcus cried. She said if anyone finds him, they'll take him away. The woman broke down. They were going to use him, she shouted wildly. They said he was proof. The bikers looked confused. Proof of what? One asked. The woman laughed, then cried. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she said. I just needed the money. That was enough. The police cars arrived. Officers rushed out. They saw the bag, the papers, the pills, the puppy. They saw Marcus. An officer knelt beside him. Are you hurt? She asked gently. Marcus nodded slowly. The woman screamed as officers pulled her up. You don't understand, she yelled. They made me do it. But no one listened anymore. The officer wrapped a jacket around Marcus. You're safe now, she said. Marcus looked at the bikers. Thank you, he whispered. The puppy licked his hand. Marcus smiled for the first time that day. The bikers watched as the police took the woman away. One biker shook his head. That bag saved him, he said quietly. Another nodded. No, he replied. That kid saved himself. The sirens faded. The street grew quiet again. But nothing would ever feel normal after what came out of that bag. The street was quiet again, but the silence felt heavy. Police officers moved carefully around the scene. One officer gently closed the bag and placed it on the hood of a police car. Another officer spoke softly into a radio. The flashing lights painted the street in red and blue. Marcus sat on the curb, wrapped in a warm jacket. His hands were still shaking. The small puppy rested in his lap, breathing softly. Marcus held it like it could disappear at any moment. The woman stood a few steps away, her hands in cuffs. She was no longer shouting. She was crying. "I didn't want this," she said again and again. "I didn't want this." One officer turned to her. "Then tell us the truth," he said. The woman looked at Marcus. For a moment, she said nothing. Then she laughed quietly. A sad, broken laugh. "The truth," she said. "The truth is, I was desperate." The bikers stayed close, listening. "I lost my job," she continued. "Bills kept coming. Rent, food, everything." She wiped her face. "People offer me money. Easy money." "What kind of people?" the officer asked. She swallowed hard. "Bad people." Marcus hugged the puppy tighter. "They told me to keep records," she said. "Doctor visits. Pictures. Pills." She looked down. "They said it would make my story believable." One biker frowned. "What story?" "That my son was sick," she replied. "That he needed help. That I was a struggling mother." Marcus felt his chest tighten. "She hurt me," he said softly. Everyone turned to him. "She said pain makes it look real." Marcus continued. "She said I had to be quiet." The officer knelt in front of Marcus. "You did the right thing by running," she said gently. Marcus shook his head. "I was scared," he said. "I didn't know who to trust." The officer nodded. "That's okay." Another officer opened the bag again, checking everything carefully. The papers showed patterns. Too many visits. Too many injuries. Too many lies. "This is serious," the officer said. "Very serious." The woman dropped her head. "I didn't mean to hurt him," she whispered. But no one believed her now. The puppy let out a small sound. An officer smiled slightly. "Where did the puppy come from?" she asked. The woman hesitated. "They told me to carry it," she said quietly. "They said it would prove I was caring. That I was kind." The bikers shook their heads. "Using a child. Using an animal." Marcus looked at the puppy. "I named him Lucky," he said. The officer smiled at him. "That's a good name." An ambulance arrived. A medic checked Marcus's arms and back. "You're going to be okay," the medic said. Marcus nodded, but his eyes stayed on the woman. "Why didn't you love me?" he asked softly. The question cut deep. The woman broke down completely. "I didn't know how," she cried. The police led her toward the car. As she passed Marcus, she tried to speak. But Marcus turned away. He had said enough. One biker walked over and knelt beside Marcus. "You were brave," he said. "Braver than most adults." Marcus looked up at him. "I just wanted to live," he replied. The biker nodded. "That's enough." A social worker arrived and spoke gently with Marcus. "You won't be going back with her," she said. "You'll be safe now." Marcus felt a strange mix of fear and relief. The unknown was scary, but staying was worse. As the police cars drove away, the streets slowly returned to normal. The bikers started their engines again. One of them waved at Marcus. "If you ever need help," he said, "good people are out there." Marcus nodded. He looked down at Lucky and smiled. For the first time, the fear inside him felt smaller. The truth was finally out, and his life was finally moving forward. The police station was quiet, but it did not feel safe to Marcus yet. He sat in a small room, his feet not touching the floor, holding Lucky close to his chest. The puppy's warmth helped, but Marcus's mind was full of noise. Every sound made him flinch. Every door made his heart beat faster. An officer sat across from him, her voice soft and slow. "You're doing great," she said. "Just tell us what you remember." Marcus nodded. He talked about the yelling, the nights with no sleep, the bruises hidden under long sleeves. He spoke in short sentences, simple words, honest words. Each sentence made the room heavier. In the next room, the truth was being built piece by piece. The medical papers were spread across a table. The photos, the pills, the phone records, everything matched. "She planned this," an officer said. "For a long time." Another officer nodded. "And the boy was the one carrying it." That part made them angry. A lawyer entered the room where Marcus's mother sat. She looked small now, tired, empty. "You're being charged," he said plainly. "Child abuse, endangerment, fraud." She stared at the wall. Marcus did not see this part. He was with a social worker now. Her name was Ms. Allen. You won't go back with her, she said gently. A judge will decide where you stay. Marcus looked down. Will Lucky stay with me? He asked. Ms. Allen smiled softly. We'll try our best. That was enough for Marcus to breathe again. Later that day, the bikers came to the station. They did not have to, but they did. One officer smiled when she saw them. You guys did the right thing, she said. One biker shrugged. We just listened. They asked to see Marcus. When Marcus saw them, his face lit up. You came, he said quietly. Of course, one biker replied. We told you we would. They talked for a few minutes. Simple talk. About bikes. About Lucky. Normal talk. Marcus liked that. A judge reviewed the case that evening. The evidence was clear. Too clear. The woman would not be going home. Marcus sat beside Ms. Allen in the courtroom, holding Lucky. He did not look at his mother. He did not need to. The judge spoke firmly. The child will be placed under protection, he said. Effective immediately. Marcus felt something lift from his chest. Protection. That word felt good. Outside the courthouse, the sun was setting. The bikers stood nearby. One of them bent down and looked Marcus in the eyes. You're free now, he said. Marcus nodded slowly. I didn't know strangers could care, Marcus said. The biker smiled. Sometimes strangers care the most. Ms. Allen placed a gentle hand on Marcus's shoulder. We have a safe home for you tonight, she said. Marcus looked around one last time. At the bikers. At the police station. At the street. Everything had changed. As they walked away, Marcus felt tired. But it was a good tired. The kind that comes after fear leaves. He looked down at Lucky and whispered, We're safe. And for the first time in his life. It was true. The house was quiet. Not the scary kind of quiet that made Marcus nervous. This quiet felt soft. Warm. Safe. Marcus sat on the edge of a small bed, holding Lucky in his arms. The room smelled clean, like soap and fresh air. Sunlight came through the window and touched the floor gently. This place was different. A kind woman named Mrs. Carter stood at the door. Dinner will be ready soon, she said with a smile. Marcus nodded. He was still learning how to trust smiles. Lucky wiggled in his arms. Marcus laughed quietly. That sound surprised him. He had not laughed like that in a long time. Later, they sat at the dinner table. Real food. Warm food. No shouting. No fear. Mrs. Carter talked softly about her garden. About her cat. About normal things. Marcus listened. No one rushed him. No one yelled. No one watched him with angry eyes. After dinner, Marcus sat on the porch with Lucky. The sky turned orange and purple. The air felt calm. For the first time, Marcus was not waiting for something bad to happen. A car pulled up slowly. Marcus's heart jumped. Then he saw them. The bikers. They stepped out, removing their helmets. Marcus stood up. You came again, he said, his voice full of surprise. One biker smiled. We said we would check on you. Mrs. Carter nodded kindly. He's been very brave, she said. The bikers knelt down to pet Lucky. He looked stronger already, one joked. Marcus smiled. I named him Lucky, Marcus said proudly. That name fits, the biker replied. They talked for a few minutes. About school. About bikes. About the future. The future. Marcus liked that word now. Before leaving, one biker gave Marcus a small patch. It's from our group, he said. For courage. Marcus held it like it was gold. Thank you, he said. When the bikers left, Marcus waved until the car was gone. That night, Marcus lay in bed, Lucky curled beside him. He thought about everything that had happened. Running. Fear. The bag. The truth. He realized something important. If he had not spoken up, if the bikers had not listened, his life would be very different. The next weeks passed slowly, but safely. Marcus started school again. Teachers smiled at him. Kids talked to him. He still had bad dreams sometimes. But now, when he woke up, someone was there. Someone who cared. One afternoon, Marcus stood in front of a mirror. He lifted his sleeve. The bruises were gone, but the memory stayed. And that was okay. It reminded him how strong he was. A letter came one day. Ms. Allen read it to him. The judge says you can stay here long term, she said. Marcus felt tears fill his eyes. Happy tears. That night, he sat on the porch again, holding Lucky. The world felt bigger now. Kinda. Marcus looked up at the sky. Thank you, he whispered. Not to anyone special. just to life. Because sometimes, strangers become heroes. Silence is broken, and a scared child finds his voice. And when that happens, miracles begin.